Okay, so now let's go for the second part of the end-to-end test with Cypress. So to watch this video, or before watch the video, please watch the previous one on the execution, because this is built on top of the other one. So we need to understand how the execution occurs, because now it's going to be easier to understand the code. I'm just going to focus on the script and the structure of the script. As we'll see, it's not very different from what you have seen when it executes. So we are doing this. So as I told you, so this is in the front end, in tests, end to end, and you have the specs here and the support. So that's where we're gonna focus. So we're gonna see this test that ran with, it was the activity one. So this is the test, okay? It has a before each, executes before each test. Actually, there's only a single test here, and after each. So what I do, basically, before each, I delete everything in the database except ARS, which ARS is the user that is there, is predefined. And then I create entities that are relevant to execute the test. And at the end, I delete everything. Okay. Where are these methods? These methods, since they interact with the database, are defined here in the database. So what do you have here? This is already defined. You have the credentials here for the Cypress. You have some constants here that you're going to use. And then you have the command. So for instance, delete all but ARS. As you see, this is pure SQL queries that you do in the database. So basically I say delete all activities, delete from alt users, where all the alt users except the one that has your username IRS, then delete users but except one ARS, and then delete institutions. Okay, so you delete this. Of course, you're gonna write more information. Probably you need to increment this method with more things to delete. Then you have the create demo entities. Which entities are created for this test? Okay, different tests may need different setups of the database. In this case, we create an institution, which is the demo institution. Then we create two users, okay? User columns and alt user. Basically, the two users we create is a volunteer and a member, okay? That's the only thing I need for this test before I start. How I'm doing it here, these user columns is a constant that basically defines that part of the query, okay? So this is the insert. As you see, this is pure SQL, okay? But I'm creating the SQL query here, insert here. And then I have a generate, so I have a couple of auxiliary methods that parameterize the information and basically set up the information. Some is not necessary, so I don't put them as parameters there. So this allows me to reuse these functions that generate the information to generate the SQL queries. Okay, so that's the only thing you need to do. Probably we'll need to add some of them here a bit for your example, okay, for your project. Then what I do? Well, I define a couple, I start the test, which is create activities, as we have seen. I define a couple of constants that I'm going to use. As you can, if you remember, this is the information that I just typed in the form. Then I intercept the requests. Okay, so this is when I define this intercept, I associate with this intercept an alias, and I'm going to use this alias afterwards to wait. As I told you, when in the interaction with the front end calls the server, I may wait for the answer for the server, so that things are synchronized, so that when I do the next click in the interface, the information is already in the interface. Okay, so there's something special here is that this is really powerful. Actually, I'm doing something else here, is that I'm injecting information. So actually what is going to go in this request is the information I'm going to type in the form and particular dates. Why? Because it was difficult, since this is an external component, the component where I pick the datetime picker, it's a difficult component to manage. So I basically just write something there, I don't care, but here I put the correct dates for the test. And actually what it does, it replaces that information with this one, and the test goes okay. So the request goes okay. Okay, but this is just for prepare the test. Then I start and I do a demo login. This is something that I'm going to reuse. So I do a login as a demo member, and this is here. So to log in as a demo member, I visit the home page. Then I do a get. Okay, I do an intercept of the get again to say let's wait for the get. And I do this is intercept, and I do a get on this tag. And now it starts the tags. Okay, where are the tags? Basically, I'm gonna show that in the activity. So we are gonna interact with the member. So for instance, here in the view, I have these tags. As you'll see, for instance, for instance, when I click in create a new activity, if you remember, I have this click here in the button. This is the button, and I have this tag. So I put these tags in the code such that I can find them, and then I just know how to click. This is the best way. There are other ways to get elements, but this is more stable, okay? I can, for instance, search for the type of CSS or for the information, but if I change, for instance, the name, I could search for new activity, but suppose that now I just replace this, and then the test breaks, okay? So it's nice to have these explicit tags, okay? So that's what I'm doing there. So in this login, I just get this one. So that's in the button. And then I do the click at the end. So look, that, as you remember from the previous video, you have the get and then the click. And after you wait that this request is intercepted, I wait for the answer so that I can continue interacting in the interface. And here you will find functions that you can use for all the types of logins you need in your tests. Okay? So let's return there. So after this, what do you do? Basically, then you start doing that. So you go to institutions. So basically, you should have these in the top bar. So if you go to top bar, okay, you will have these. So it's easier to do a search. So if I search for this, top bar, okay, look, it's here. So when I click, it is in this button. So, and I have all these information. So I have these so that I can do the Cypress tests. Okay, so I have these activities that will be clicked next. So, and actually is what happens. I do activities, and then I click in the new activity button, and I expect that the dialog opens, and if the dialog opens, I have also these tags in each one of the fields. In this case, when I get the field, since it's an input field, I don't click. I can type something, and I'm typing this constant name, right? So elderly assistance. Okay, I use the constants. And at the end, basically, these are the parts where I pick the data. Okay, for the data to the date. Okay, but it is similar, and then I do the save. And when I do the save, I just register. Do wait for the answer. What I do next, then I get the table, as you have seen. So I get this table with the information. Now I want to check the information. So what do? I do a get in the table, and I go to the body. This is CSS, okay? And I get the rows in the body, okay? Table rows, TR, okay? Table body, table rows. And I ask, how many rows do I have? 1. And then I go for the 1, because this returns a list. And I go for the children. I say, how many children do I have? 11, so the number of columns. And then I go for each one of them, for the ones that I'm interested. For the first one, and I see if it contains the name. The second one, which is index 2, if it contains the region, and so on. Okay? And then I log out, and then I do something very similar as the volunteer and as admin. Okay? And at the end, I log out, and I clean the database. So it's very, very simple. Okay? So basically, we have these gets, and that's it. That's you go to the children, and you get the elements in the children. Okay? Good. That's it.